Strategies for self-care for a high-value feminine woman. Hi, I'm Edwina, your exclusive dating to marriage coach, and I'm back again on Talk It Through Tuesdays. I hope you've been really good, and just wanted to talk to you about self-care and being high value and a feminine woman. And whenever we see and hear this word self-care, we think we know it, right? But I thought that seeing as it's the new year, I want to embark on a new journey concerning this, and it's been quite a journey. You see, when we hear the word self-care, we just kind of take it for not a joke, I would say, but we don't take it seriously, compared to money, love, finances, business, and etc., etc. But self-care is so important to all of these other areas in our life. Now, this thing about self-care, it's not selfish, it is not self-indulgent, it is not something we should not care about. It is actually self-love, self-acceptance. Self-care is simply taking care of yourself. If we don't take care of ourselves, who's going to take care of ourselves? The way we take care of ourselves shows others, the world, our man, how we need to be taken care of. And I just thought that we need to make this a priority right now. And there's nothing more than the start of the year or start of the month or whenever you watch this to really start dedicating this issue of self-care. Now, there are different types of self-care. There is emotional self-care, and this deals with our emotional needs and our feelings, our mindsets, what's going on inside us at this particular time. We could see a therapist, maybe see a coach or someone who would help us to regulate our current feelings. And this could be a priority for some of us at this moment. We can also talk about practical self-care, where we deal with things that cause us stress. Like if finances are causing us stress, we can create a budget and things like this. So I'm talking about practical things that maybe having a to-do list and sticking to it and making sure there's not 101 things on there. So a practical self-care is also something that we can think about. Physical self-care. We all know about physical self-care. Take a walk, do some exercise, get the heart pumping, move around the house, do some dancing, join a class, join the gym, do some exercise at home. This one we all know. And I think a lot of us avoid this as well too. Mental self-care. Anything that stimulates your mind. Doing puzzles, playing games, being creative, reading a book, anything of these kind of things, or looking at our negative thoughts and detoxing. These are ways for mental self-care. Social self-care. Anything that just nurtures our relationships, spending time with friends, having cool time, fun dates with your friends, yourself even, family, anything that causes us to be around other people is important in terms of social self-care. There are times we need to be alone, there's times when we need to be around other people. Spiritual self-care. Some of us would meditate. Some of us would take time out and just be silent. Some of us will pray, go to a place of worship. Some of us will just do some inner soul searching, whatever it is it means to you. That spiritual aspect of that's when we become one with God and really regulate our purpose, where we're going, why we're here. This form of spiritual self-care is also something that we should consider. Now, self-care can not only boost our self-esteem, it can not only boost our physical health, not only boost our mental health care, not only boost our mental thinking and our relationships, it can also boost our selves. And you're thinking, huh? Yes, ourselves. Remember, the best project that we have is ourselves. The best book we can read at the end of the day is ourselves. We spend so much time with ourselves that sometimes we forget that we need to put so much into ourselves before we give up. We have to put so much into ourselves and give happiness to ourselves before we think of somebody else's happiness. And if we haven't been reading the book that we like currently of our lives, this is time for self-care. This is the time where we do an audit, an evaluation of everything that happened before up until now and the things we want to change. Now, when I said about self-care boost your relationships, when I found that out, I was like, what? And yes, it does. Because how I think of myself reflects on how I sometimes project that onto others. And given the state of certain things that have happened throughout the month and the last few months, I've had to shut down. I've had to shut down social media, take more walks. I've had to have a lot more time where I'm doing some inner searching, some quiet time, some reading the Bible, the word, listening to positive information. And I've just had to shut some other voices. I've had to tell people that I'm doing that so they don't think, oh, she's just gone quiet for no reason. And doing that has been so helpful to regulate my emotions, regulate my feelings, regulate my goals, the clarity, my whys for life. And I just wanted to ask, have you done that lately? Have you taken that time out to even evaluate these areas of self-care that I mentioned earlier? As we're here talking about relationships, the best and first, most important relationship is with ourselves and with God, and making sure that connection is in sync. Then it's everybody else. But what we do as women, we give. And we don't give to ourselves. And then we get frustrated and we get angry. And then we shout at everybody. And then the cat, the dog, the children, the husband, the neighbor, the postman get the brunt of it. And then we worry and think, what's going on? And that's the end of it, when we've got the end of our tether, as they would say. So self-care. Why a high value woman really understands and prioritizes self-care is because she understands her worth. She understands that there's no one like her. She's unique. She's one of a kind. Listen, I can't afford for me to not be on this earth. Okay, what about you? So if I can't afford for me to not be on this earth, and I care about you, swans, you can't afford for you to not be on this earth and be your best and better version of yourself. So that would mean we've got to put ourselves first. Taking a bath, having a walk, going to see a therapist, having a coach, spending time with friends, being real with our thoughts, our emotions, our wants, our needs, our desires, and seeing how we can achieve them. Putting into ourselves, because our cup needs to be full instead of empty. As again, let me remind you, is not selfish. Being even more in our femininity is not selfish. It's actually an act of self-care. And as we've been talking on this whole channel, leaning back, being vulnerable, saying, I don't feel myself right now. I need to take some time out. Do you need to take some time out? Do you need to come off social media and see everybody statuses and everything and what they're doing and come back to grips of you? Because as I said before, you are a masterpiece and you are the best project that God is working on. Not everybody else. Once you focus on you, everything else, the man, the kids, the family, they all fall into alignment. And I just wanted to remind you of this message. Self-care is important and must be prioritized. As a high value woman, as a feminine woman, this is something that I want to reiterate to you, to put on a high agenda for you. Because when the man comes, the business comes, the children come, the dog comes. They're all going to want a piece of you. And unless you are giving them the best part of you, you're going to be giving them grumpy you, angry you, frustrated you, leave me alone you. And that's not the you want to be giving out to people. So step back into your femininity. Find ways that self-care and taking care of you reflects for you. However that is. I'm not going to tell you how to make sure that self-care is the best way in terms of taking a bath or eating healthily or going for a run. You know the best things that you need to do and the things that you've been avoiding to do. So on that note, I just wanted to ask you, please make self-care priority. Not just today, but the whole year. And as I said, I'm starting a new journey on this. And on that note, on the Black Swan Relationship Academy, there is a self-care course. If you mention Edwina21 hashtag, you will get 5% discount. Don't say I don't take care of you now. And the details will be in the description box. But myself right now, I'm taking some time out. I've had a bereavement and knocked me for 6. And I have to take care of my heart. And I've also got some wonderful things that are happening that I just need to take time out and focus on. But I'll be back in March and I'll tell you all about it. Might even post some on my socials. So if you're following me on Coach Edwina on Instagram, you might be able to find me. But as I am talking about self-care, I want to show you an example of myself having some self-care for myself. So that when I come back, I'll have more fire. I'll have more information and some more experiences and life journeys that I can share with you. So I just wanted to say, see you in March for Talk It Through Tuesdays and see you soon.